Hey, welcome to another episode of Freedom On Fire. I'm your host, Robert BOBTV Brown. Now, I don't know whether this is good news or bad news. I really don't know. It just seems like anytime you ban people, innocent people like that, who has nothing to do with things that's going to harm this country, it's never good, because America is a country of immigrants. Some came here on their own will, some didn't come here on their own will and didn't want to come here, but they're here. But today, the Supreme Court permits full enforcement of Trump's travel ban. Now, this is good news to the Trump base. The Trump base have gotten a couple of wins lately. Not only did the tax bill come through, the tax bill that's going to hurt most of the Trump base once they educate themselves on what it actually does and how long it does it for. And then with the monument issue, and I'm going to talk about that soon, and now with the travel ban. Supreme Court allowed full enforcement of Trump's travel ban, handing the White House a huge judicial victory. The U.S. Supreme Court on Monday ruled in favor of President Trump's travel ban, affecting residents of 6 majority Muslim countries. 6 majority Muslim countries. Let me guess what? I guarantee you Saudi Arabia is not on this list. The justices said the policy can take full effect despite multiple legal challenges against it that haven't yet made their way through the legal system. The ban applied to people from Syria, Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. In other words, the ban is going out to those whose country we have invaded and try to use our U.S. foreign policies in those people's countries. Now, predicated to you, Syria has done nothing to us. Chad has done nothing to us. Iran has done nothing to us. Libya have done nothing. Somalia or Yemen. And all of these are pretty much African countries, North African countries. You know, oh, Robert, you about to get old Afrocentric on this? Yes, because most of these countries are African countries. Now, I take this personally because I don't see anybody invading Europe. I don't see anybody invading Asia. Maybe you're dealing with this thing with because America wants to be in Korea, because America want to be the only superpower with some kind of nuclear weapon. In other words, showing how much a bully we can be. Take this personally. These are black and brown countries. And I fought Bush, I fought Obama, a half black, half man, and because of Obama allowing Hillary Clinton to convince him to go into Libya, we now have slavery in Libya. And slavery is soon to come to Somalia, if it haven't came already, and Yemen, and Chad. So Trump want to ban people from coming from those countries. Those people are going to be devastated because of what we're going to do there, because we're the bullies, we're the military power, we're the might in the area. We have all the weapons and all the power and all the money, and we'll bully into that country, take what we need, and leave these people without anything. Refugees, thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them in some cases, needing a place to go. And you want to ban them after we done went in and tore into those countries. Now, there's some people who just loving this. Oh, yeah, some people just loving this, my good old white supremacists. And good old black supremacists, because it infuels their reason to act just as stupid. Let me finish this article. Lower court has said people from these countries were with a bona fide relationship with someone in the United States could not be prevented from entry. Now, who was to say that you might say that I'm not American, that I came from Syria, Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Yemen? You might be trying to kick me out of the country that I was born in. See, I don't take this country lightly. I think they got all kind of ways to do anything they want in this country. Grandparents and cousins were among the relative court said could not be excluded. In other words, if you got grandparents here, if you got cousins here, and you're from And they're coming in from Syria, Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia. Nah, you're not coming here, Doc. I don't care how old you are, grandparent, cousins. If you are living in the United States and you got family members in those areas, they cannot come be with you. They got to stay in that slaughter mess that we created with our efforts in regime change or mineral and product control. The nine-member High Court said in two one-page orders late Monday afternoon that lower court rulings that partly blocked the ban should be put on hold while appeals court in Richmond, Virginia, and San Francisco take up the case. Liberal-leaning justices ruled. Now, I gotta understand. I'm trying to get this information. The only place I found it was Fox. I didn't see CNN, so I'm quite sure this article going to sound biased, but I'll get through the bias BS. Okay. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor say they would have left the lower court order in place. The justices offered no explanation for their order, but the administration had said that blocking the full ban was causing irreparable harm because the policy is based on legitimate national security and foreign policy concern. Now, let me stop there. You want to talk about foreign policy. You want to talk about irreparable harm. You want to talk about national security. You got a man who's threatened to bring fire and brimstone on a country full of millions when he really don't understand the history of North Korea and why they think they need to have a weapon. It's because of his mouth. The very thing he said out of his mouth is the reason why they want a weapon. Because they always feel threatened that the United States is going to go in and do what they did to them previous years while the North Korean government began to shape and be formed. That's national security. Tweeting is national security. Telling people you're going to Mar-a-Lago for golfing on the weekend is a matter of national security. There's a lot of reasons I can say that there's a lot of reasons where we can prove national security interest is not being affected, or there's a lot of things that the president is doing put us in a position of not being secured in our country. The justices offered no explanation for their order, but the administration had said that blocking the full ban was causing irreparable harm because the policy is based on legitimate national security and foreign policies concerned. Let me stop there again. These are nations. These nations were secured before we came in there. We came in those nations and destabilized those nations. We went into those countries and used our crappy foreign policy of regime change and domination, imperial colonialism, and we left those places destructive and inhabitable. And in that environment, radical groups will begin to spring up. Civil war will even take place. And they'll become survival of the fittest. And you have a situation like Libya when they're selling black people into slavery. And you don't think this stuff is not by happenstance. Oh, it's just a coincidence. We got northern African countries being invaded by the United States. These people did not declare war on us. They did not do anything to our country. They did not do any terrorist acts in our country. But yet we'll go to their country and commit terrorist acts. You're trying to say our military is doing terrorist acts. When you are fighting wars in a country that didn't invite you to fight in their wars, without the approval of Congress, you're bullying yourself in there without the approval of Congress, and even with the approval of Congress, not the approval of the American people. Both courts are scheduled to hear the argument in those cases this week. Both courts are also dealing with the issue on an acceleration basis, and the Supreme Court noted it expects those courts to reach the decision with appropriate dispatch. Quick resolutions by appellate court would allow the Supreme Court to hear and decide the issue this term by the end of June. White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gidley called the ban lawful and essential to protecting our homeland. So here we are. Gidley added a written statement. We look forward to presenting a fuller defense of the proclamation as the pending cases work their way through the courts. We are pleased that the Supreme Court has agreed to allow us to fulfill this most vital mission performed by any sovereign nation. DHS will continue to fully implement the presidential robust and constitutional counterterrorism agenda in accordance with the law. The Department of Homeland Security Acting Press Secretary Tyler Q. Houghton said, Trump travel ban has been challenged in separate lawsuits by Hawaii and American Civil Liberty Union. Both have argued that the ban discriminates against Muslims and should not go into effect under immigration laws. President Trump's anti-Muslim prejudice is no secret. He has repeatedly confirmed it, including just last week on Twitter. Omar Jadwa, director of the ACLU Immigrants' Rights Project, said in a statement, it's unfortunately that the full ban can move forward for now, but this order does not address the merits of our claim. We continue to stand for freedom, equality, and for those who are unfairly being separated from their loved ones. We will be arguing Friday in the Fourth Circuit that the ban should ultimately be struck down. So they're not giving up this fight. Trump issued his first travel ban within days of being sworn in as president. That version tightened the country's refuge and visa policies and suspended almost all refugee admission for 4 months. Trump issued a revised version in March after the first was blocked by federal court. The second one expired in September after a lengthy court fight and was replaced with the current version. Now, let me make some comments on this. First of all, again, I take it personally because I live in the black community, and these are not taking place in the European community or the Asian community. These are taking place in the black and brown community. Yeah, I paused for a moment. You telling me we can go in and do whatever we want in these countries and we can't accommodate the refugees? Why? Because we scared they're going to attack us? We attacked them first. You think it's right that they was minding their own business, handling their own business, and we come in and terrorize their country? And you're afraid of them terrorizing us? Come on, man. Well, this fight is not over. They're still going to appeal these things. They're going to go before the court. It's just sad that the Supreme Court is going to allow it to go through anyway. Now, look, I think that there should be some tightening of the grips in some cases. Criminals definitely don't need to be coming to this country to flee. I don't care if it's from Mexico or Puerto Rico or Nigeria. It doesn't matter. If you have a criminal background from your previous country, you should not be able to come into this country. Stay in your own country. But if you have family members and you just want to come here and get a better life and get some education, contribute to the American society, we are a country of immigrants. Nobody other than the American Indian, the Native Indians, can claim this as theirs. I don't care what you say, white people. You are immigrant. You fled England and Spain and other countries to America. Most black people were brought here under oppression and slavery, but they're here. Chinese people, a lot of Chinese people, Oriental people came to this country, same thing, and worked horrible jobs to survive. Same thing with the blacks, and same thing with certain part of the white community. Anyway, this is I say this is about 90% bad, 10% good. Okay? I can understand if you're going to be blocking people from coming in this country that has a history of wrongdoing, crimes, dominating, and oppressing their own people. No, you don't come in. But people who have no home because we bombed their apartment. No schools because we bombed their schools and killed children in the schools. No hospitals because we bombed their hospital and killed patients, nurses, doctors of all ages in the hospital trying to look for one freaking terrorist or making up a reason to go in there and take over that country to control the resources. And these people shouldn't have the opportunity to come here and live a better life, especially when they have family members here. Shame on you, America. You talking about making America great again? Well, America can't be great until America begin to love again. We always talk about God bless America. Well, you can't say God bless America without using the word love. I'm not going to go into this, but I got a teaching and a book I'm writing called Make America Love Again. You can't make America love again. America cannot be great until America begin to love. And I talk about how we got to love our neighbors. And our neighbors are these countries. And we dominating and oppressing. That is not love. That is hate. Go in and take what they own. And don't let them come here. Anyway, I'm done, man. Stay tuned to the mini book, Make America Love Again. America never be great until America begin to love not only each other, not only our neighbors, but yes, even our enemies. I'm BOBTV, Freedom on Fire. Shame on America for us going into these 5 countries, but want to ban them from coming here. That ain't God blessing America. All right, Freedom on Fire. And just to let you know before I go, America can't be blessed and will not continue to be blessed when we doing things like this. This has to stop. Hey, this is your boy BOBTV with Freedom on Fire and Rob Report. I want to thank you for watching the webcast. Make sure you share these segments all across your social media network. Like and share, subscribe, and maybe invite a couple other people to do the same thing. You make the difference. I also want to thank you for those who support this channel through Patreon, whether it's 50 cents to $50 million. It goes right back into what we do here. So like the lights that you're looking at right now, that's because of something that you did. So I really appreciate it. I want to thank my man Vegimatic for the Blue Yeti mic, one of the top microphones out right now. He knew I needed the mic, so he blessed me with it. So all of you guys make the difference into this channel growing, and I really want to appreciate you for that. Also, by all means, again, continue to share your comments at the bottom of each video. Just don't get so visceral to the people who may disagree with me or may disagree with you. This calling out name stuff, that's not for this channel. So please try not to call people names, personal names. Now you can call some of the stuff they talk about crap. I say that, but just don't attack people personally. Words really hurt when you start attacking people personally, because these people really believe these things, and you're not gonna take away their belief by calling them names. So please don't do that on this channel. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys. We're shooting for 2,000 now, so I need your help. So as my pastor would say, reach one, teach one. I mean, let's reach out. You got the information. Make sure you share with other people and try to get them to subscribe to the channel so we can grow and expand. I'm BOBTV, Freedom on Fire, Rob Report. Peace.